Forget everything you think you know about pirate lords. At the height of her power, one woman commanded a fleet of 1,800 ships and 80,000 outlaws, forcing the world's greatest empires to their knees. This wasn't a myth. It was the terrifying reality of the most successful pirate in history. Her name was Qing Shi, born Xu Yang in the late 18th century. And her story begins not with cannons or conquest, but within the dim, crowded decks of a floating brothel in Canton, where survival depended on observation, intelligence, and control. She learned to read men quickly, merchants, officials, sailors, and understood power long before she possessed it. When the feared pirate commander Zheng Yi entered her life, she did not simply become his wife. She negotiated her position, securing influence and a share of his operations, transforming herself from a marginalized woman into a strategic partner within one of the most formidable pirate confederations in the South China Sea. Their union was not romantic legend, but calculated alliance, and together they expanded the Red Flag Fleet into a dominant maritime force that blurred the line between outlaw and empire. Then, in 1807, everything changed. Zheng Yi died suddenly, leaving behind a vast, unstable network of rival captains, loyalties, and ambitions that could collapse into chaos at any moment. Where most would see opportunity for fragmentation, Qing Shi saw a vacuum to be filled. Acting with precision and speed, she secured alliances, most notably with her late husband's adopted son and second-in-command, Chung Po Tsai, consolidating loyalty before dissent could take root. She stepped into command not by force alone, but through negotiation, authority, and a deep understanding of the fragile balance of power. Under her leadership, the Red Flag Fleet did not fracture. It evolved into an even more disciplined and feared entity. Her first act was not expansion, but control. She implemented a rigid code of conduct that transformed piracy into a regulated system where order outweighed chaos. Loot was cataloged and distributed according to strict rules, with the majority placed into a collective fund. Theft from the communal treasury was punishable by death. Desertion, disobedience, or acting without orders brought severe consequences, often immediate execution. Yet the most striking aspect of her rule was her protection of women. Female captives could not be harmed or violated. Those taken as wives were to be treated with respect, and any act of assault was met with brutal punishment, reinforcing a rare boundary in a world defined by lawlessness. This code did more than impose discipline. It created loyalty, stability, and a system where thousands of pirates operated with near military precision. Coastal villages feared her fleets not just for their size, but for their efficiency. Governments struggled not just against her numbers, but against her structure. Qing Shi did not merely inherit power. She redefined it, turning a loose confederation of criminals into a unified force that challenged imperial navies and dictated terms across the South China Sea. Qing Shi's end was as extraordinary as her rise, not marked by execution or defeat, but by survival and control. After years of overwhelming victories against the Qing dynasty, Portuguese forces, and British naval pressure, she negotiated a full pardon in 1810, securing freedom for herself and the majority of her fleet while keeping much of her accumulated wealth. She retired from piracy on her own terms, settling into a quieter life where she operated a gambling house and lived with the same calculated discipline that once ruled the seas. Unlike nearly every pirate in history, she was never captured, never executed, and never truly defeated. She died peacefully in 1844 at the age of 69, leaving behind a legacy not of rebellion, but of mastery, proof that the most dangerous force on the ocean was not chaos, but control.